In today's lesson, we're going to cover the 12-bar blues, and then we're going to learn a right-hand technique called the mute technique. And then we're going to apply that to some strum patterns that are prominent in 1950s and 60s rock and roll. All right, here we go. Okay, we're going to start off with the 12-bar blues. Now, the 12-bar blues is a chord progression that consists of 12 measures or 12 bars. It's not only prominent in blues, but also in rock and roll, in songs written by Chuck Berry and even the Beatles. So we're going to start on the D chord, and instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to say the measure number on beat 1. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, so follow along. I'm going to start on the D chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. To the G chord. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. Back to the D. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4 to the A. 9, 2, 3, 4 to the G. 10, 2, 3, 4. Back to the D. It's 11 and the 12th measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so next up we have muted strums. So these basically sound like this. So they're a chuck sound. So basically what we're doing is we're muting the strings as we simultaneously strike the strings. So it gives a nice percussive sound like this. So we're going to start with the open strings. We're just going to take the right hand, mute the strings, and then hit the strings. We'll do eighth notes first. So here we go, an eighth note, and then eighth rest. Eighth note, eighth rest. Eighth note, rest. And 2, and 3, and 4, and get that chuck sound. Now if you hear a little bit of overtones there, it's not a huge deal because when you're playing, that's not going to ring through. There we go. Now let's try strumming a chord, like the D chord for example. And we'll strum that on beat 1, and then on beat 2, we'll do a mute. And then we'll rest on the and of 2. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. And the mute right there is on the back beat, or beats 2 and 4. Those are the back beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so. Okay, in the final mute exercise, we're going to be doing 2 eighth note strums followed by a mute on the back beats, on beats 2 and 4. So it'll be 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Let's try it together. 3 and 4. Here we go. It's a little slower. 1 and 2. 3 and 4. 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 Now that particular strum pattern is popular in Latin music. So we'll call that the Latin strum. Okay, we're going to take that Latin strum pattern and apply it to a new progression. So we're going to go 1 and 2, 3 and 4 to the G, 2, 3 and 4 to the A, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, so play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to take the Latin strum and add an upstroke on the and of 2 and the and of 4, where we normally had an eighth rest. So it'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let's apply that to the D, G, A, D chord progression we just talked about. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Switch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Switch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Switch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 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 all right, well done. Okay, now we're going to take that strum pattern, that rock and roll style 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and strum pattern, and apply it to the 12-bar blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. First measure. Second measure. Third measure. Fourth measure. And then fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Ninth. 10th, 11th, and 12th. Okay, so this final chord progression is a slight variation on the 12-bar blues. In measure 10, we basically just stay on the A chord instead of going back to the G chord. And this chord progression is used in songs like Johnny B. Goode and Roll Over Beethoven, so it's very common in 1950s rock and roll. Okay, so we're going to start in the D chord, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Second bar. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. And then 7th. Okay, awesome job. What you want to do this week is practice the 12-bar blues progression and make sure that you're counting each measure as you go along. And then you want to also work on that right hand mute technique. Okay, so work on every progression, have fun, and I will see you next time.